my dream would be one day to be a head coach in the ACC, and now I'm here. So this is a dream come true for me to have what SMU, to be at a premier institution, university as SMU, to go into premier basketball conference in the nation. What a dream. So I want to thank you for making this happen, and thank you for helping me be here today. My personal belief is, hey, let's go do it one more time. Let's go try to do this one more time as a head coach, as a family, hire a great staff, develop these players, and try to do it one more time in a place that wants to be great. And that's what we kept hearing from the gentleman behind me is SMU is ready to go to the next level, go to a power conference, and they want to be great. And what we've done academically and athletically, I think really fits this university, and we're so excited to be here.
Andy Enfield said it was a dream come true to take this SMU job. Coach, joining us now. You've been living the dream for 6 months, right? Since that introductory press conference, and here you are. Welcome to your first ACC tip-off. We're excited to have you here. Over the last 6 months, what's been the best part for you? If you can narrow it down to maybe one thing.
The SMU alumni and community are terrific people. They're so excited about going to the ACC to be in this great conference, and the energy in the city of Dallas around college basketball.
What about building this team? What was this summer like? And how, if you got to go to a new place, how do you start that process? What's like goal number one when you're going to build your team in this era?
Well, fortunately, my staff, we've had some experience of building programs at USC and prior to that, Florida Gulf Coast University. So it's not new to us as a staff. The whole staff joined me, and you're only as good as a head coach as your staff, and we have excellent, outstanding assistant coaches. The biggest part is the transfer portal and the NIL, trying to go get 7 transfers like we did, to have them complement each other, try to get the best young men possible that are dedicated to the team, atmosphere, and also talented enough to try to win games in the ACC. That was the biggest challenge.
Well, you can tell the community was excited. The year or the week that they announced that you guys were joining the ACC, they raised over $100 million, which is crazy. So you can tell that they're excited. When you talk about the transfers and you talk about the NIL, I think the hardest thing about coming to a new program is you have to change your role. So a lot of guys that are coming into the program average double figures at their previous spots. How do you get a guy to say, hey, you might have to sacrifice a little of that for our team?
Well, in a recruiting pitch, we don't really talk about sacrificing too much. But we talk about player development, being part of a winning program, and doing something they've never done before as an individual and as a team.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about implementing your culture, right? You have a great success track record. You come to a new program. You bring in, new players like Boobie Miller and Matt Cross, these guys. How do you implement your culture on the players?
Well, we've never coached them, so we have to learn their strengths and weaknesses, and they have to learn their strengths and weaknesses as players. We have a system that we like to play. We like to play fast, spread the floor. We've been doing that since my first head job at Florida Gulf Coast, went to USC. You have to tweak it sometimes, especially offensively, if you have good big men, to slow the game down and get them the ball in the post, or make sure your best players get touches in certain areas in the court. So we'll do the same thing at SMU. I think we were very honest in the recruitment process. This is how we'll try to use you, and we have a lot of video to back it up. We just had our 11th guy since 2018 enter the NBA at USC, 11 players. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And so the recruits, they see that, they know that, and they can watch it on video and see how we've used other guys. So they're all bought in. They've been terrific so far in practice, and we're excited.
Yeah. Are we allowed to bring Dunk City back to SMU?
Let's do
that
it.
style.
Let's do it.
I can't wait. That's my era, man. That was 2013, and Feeler and some of the guys Joel and I were talking about. That was so much fun. Yeah. Do you expect the styles to kind of, obviously there are a lot of similarities, but you kind of going back to your old roots there with Gulf Coast?
Yeah, I think the point guard situation we have with Boopie Miller, Chuck Harris, B.J. Edwards, their experience, they can throw the lob, they can kick it out, they can score the ball themselves. We had Brett Comer at Florida Gulf Coast, and then Bernard Thompson was his running mate, and Sherwood Brown. And so you need good guards and you need good big men. So we have big men like Chase Feeler and some of the Eddie Murray and Eric McKnight at Florida Gulf Coast who can go catch a lob, and also they're versatile. So you need that versatility on your roster to be able to play like that.
Joel didn't pass. I could pass. So Boozer would catch the lobs. I mean, we could play for you, Coach, for sure.
You mentioned coming to the ACC, and obviously you love the sport of basketball. When you think ACC, what do you think of?
Well, I grew up an ACC fan from Southern Pennsylvania. That was the league that I always wanted to play in. Wasn't quite good enough like you guys to play in that league, but now to be able to coach in it, it's a dream come true.
Florida State is here as well, like you guys today, and I know Leonard Hamilton has been with you along the way. You coached with him, under him. What's that relationship like, and have you had a chance to see him yet?
I did see him. It's great. He's been coaching over 50 years. That's incredible. Hall of Fame coach. And my 5 years with Coach Ham meant so much to me personally and as professionally to learn how to run a college basketball program. I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Boopie Miller, since we keep saying his name up here, obviously we know him well here in the ACC. What intrigued you about his play that you were like, I got to have this young man on my team?
Well, I didn't think that much into it because we had another guard on our team for 3 weeks in April when we took over the job, and all of a sudden he transferred, and we had about 2 hours to think about it. So Boopie happened to be in the portal at the time. I didn't know who Boopie Miller was until that happened, and then quickly we were able to get him and his family on a visit, fell in love with him as a person first and foremost, and then his family was terrific, and he's a great basketball player. So we just thought after that visit it was a perfect fit for what we're looking for, how the style of basketball we want to play fast, spread the floor, and he has all those reads. He can make all the right decisions and the passes. So we expect a huge year out of Boopie.
Coach, how is that process? I mean, it seems like it does have to go so fast because a guy might transfer and you don't even know it, and then all of a sudden now you got to change everything you want to do. Talk about that process a little bit.
Well, it's a new era in college basketball. Before you would be able to recruit freshmen and have them develop, and you kind of knew who you were going to have the next season. You could fill in with other recruits. But now the transfer portal has made it so players will leave for a variety of reasons, and sometimes they have a great season for you, then leave, and sometimes they struggle, or sometimes in between, and you just never know. But the later it gets into that springtime where you think that player is coming back, and then all of a sudden he leaves, that does put you at a disadvantage because you're not expecting it.
Coach, I got a lot of love from the SMU fans when I said this, but on our schedule release show I said the toughest place I ever played was at SMU. I know you've been to some football games. You've seen this environment. How excited are you to get in to that arena, fill it up, and get that environment back?
Well, I know you had a great career, and that was a big-time college basketball game. And with 2014, back in the era where Moody Coliseum, we expected to be packed this year, sold out. And I had the experience at USC. We actually beat SMU in the NCAA tournament in Tulsa by 1. The next year we had to go back and play in Moody Coliseum. And I agree with you. It was the hardest place we played all season that year, and they got us good that night. So we're now excited to be coaching in Moody Coliseum. It's a great arena.
Hey, volleyball's doing it big. They're selling it out, which is really cool, setting the standard already this year. When you look at your schedule, Coach, and I know you're going to be like, look, next game is the most important game, but a schedule is important in a season. What stands out to you about SMU's schedule this season?
Well, all the great teams at ACC. Some of the arenas I've never been to as a head coach. I'm looking forward to traveling to some of these places and having them come to Dallas. And the fans of Dallas and SMU community has never had that quality of team for the entire season come in. And so I think it's going to be so exciting for just the basketball community to be able to go see great basketball on a nightly basis.
Coach, I have a question. Who has surprised you the most in practice? I always like to ask coaches, like, there's always guys that are expected to do well, but who's the guy that we aren't talking about that we should look out for?
Well, it's hard to say who surprises. We have such great experience. We try to go out and get some veterans like a Matt Cross, who spent 2 years in the ACC, first team All-Atlantic 10 last year. He's terrific. Kerry Okendo, who's played at Georgia and in Oregon last year. Those guys have big-time experience. Chuck Harris and Boopie have experience at the guard spot. So not one player has really stood out. We're really excited because we made a lot of improvements in this last week of offensively and defensively, and then learning each other's games and playing together.
What's been your favorite part about living in Dallas so far? The city of Dallas as a whole, because
so great.
Look, we were just there for football a couple of weeks ago, and just the city is so awesome, and obviously campus is too. But for ACC fans who haven't made the trip, who may be coming to Moody this season, like, what's been your favorite part about the city and living there?
Well, the people are very nice.
Yeah.
The SMU is a great place, great neighborhood, gorgeous campus, and then the
Beautiful.
accessibility to all the restaurants and the energy. If you can go out anywhere during the day or in the evening, and you can just feel positive energy in the city of Dallas, it's great.
Do you have a cowboy hat and do you have cowboy boots already, or we're still working on that?
Hey, you have to love the Cowboys if you're in Dallas.
All right, so next time we see you, we expect you to potentially be rocking a cowboy hat, Coach.
That'd be a look on the sidelines.
That would be a look on the sidelines. An expectation, if you were to set it to tell somebody this season for SMU basketball, what would you say in simple terms?
Well, we're looking to be very competitive. I don't think any of our coaches or players that are on our team now came here to SMU to go in the ACC and not compete at the highest level. So we don't know if we'll win the league or not, but we're going to try to.
Yeah.
And we're going to be very competitive on a nightly basis.
Oh, yeah.
How nice is it to have that staff coming with you from USC? Coach Greenberg and I talked about it. I think that's such an advantage in terms of putting in your system. And then also, as soon as you get hired, you bring those guys on board, you guys can get right to work building this team.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage as a head coach because I have had a terrific staff at USC. They were very successful as assistant coaches. Some went on to become head coaches, and then the new guys. But when you can bring your entire staff, and I didn't know if everybody would follow me and come to Dallas, but fortunately they did. And then we hired Dana Ford, Jeremy Hart, and then Zach Chu from the Pacers. So we've added some guys to go along with Chris Kapko, who's my associate head coach, and Jay Morris, and Eric Mobley's been with me now 7 years. Mike Swetzer, administrator, he's been with me 11 or 10. And Curtis Schultz, our strength coach, 12 years together, and he's the best strength coach in the country. So we have a great continuity and a lot of friendship, and I've had a lot of success together.
We know how important continuity is in translating to wins on the court. Vibes are high in Dallas, Coach.
Big
We're
time.
excited to hopefully make a trip there and watch you guys play this season.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Be
Thank
great
you so
to have
much.
you.